Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michaela Copeland here. Today's video is about the news that the NHS will no longer be prescribing puberty blockers for trans kids. As ever, I will be putting links down below in the description, and also as well about two programs that you can watch. In the UK they're on ITV X. One program is called The Clinic, and it's all about when it all started to go wrong for the Tavistock. And later this month, the Tavistock is going to shut down, and nothing. It all started to go tits up for Tavistock when Kira Bell, who was seen by the clinic, she accessed puberty blockers. She was on testosterone for 4.5 years, then decided to do transition, claiming that she should have been challenged more on her decision to take puberty blockers. And now Lizz Truss, who was Prime Minister for about 44 days, is trying to ban under 16s from transitioning. It really is screwed up, and it is all due to the Tories, which they are effectively becoming Nazis. And it's just so fucked up because there is currently about 100 kids currently on puberty blockers, and they're being allowed to continue taking blockers. Meanwhile, kids now they can't even take them, which is totally, which is so wrong. I mean, puberty blockers were intentionally initially for kids who went through puberty very early. People seem to forget that, and they think that it's child abuse that to put a kid on puberty blockers. And I hear so many times on Facebook that kids are too young to know who they are, and just people just misgendering them and so on. Which I knew I was trans back when I was 6, and I did go out through the whole of Section 28. I was only 14.5 months when Section 28 was enforced, which was brought in by the Tory party under Maggie Thatcher, and he banned all LGBT teachings in schools. You can add any leaflets or pamphlets or anything, and for people around my age and a little bit younger, it did severely damage us because we did not know we didn't know what it was called, what steps needed to be taken. There was no information whatsoever, and I can imagine that after the ruling that was released a couple of days ago, um, the the support lines at Mermaid is going to be chocolate block, which last year for my birthday, which is be in 18 days time, I did do a fundraiser for Mermaids, and I got attacked on Facebook, which is why I set my Facebook to private now, and it even affects people like Brianna Drive, which she was 16 when she was truly taken away from us, but she came out since she was 14 when she came out, and it seems like the NHS is saying that trans kids cannot have Gillick Compertance, which was created in the 80s, and it means that kids under the age of 16 can access the pill, abortions, um, protection, and everything. And it seems like kids can have Gillick Competence for that, and yet they cannot have Gillick Competence to access puberty blockers. And they claim that they do actually claim that they're not known about side effects, but if your kid is going through precocious puberty, you're only on them for a couple of years until you're able to access puberty at normal, which my own personal story when I went through puberty, it was absolute hell. I mean, my voice started deepening, I had hairs going everywhere. It just every day I just waking up in hell, and everyone at school can remember me. They do remember, they do remember me, and like they see I was so miserable, uncomfortable, and everything, and I just every day I wanted to cut it off. I did also as well, used to tuck every day. I mean, ever since I was a kid, this was back at primary school, I wore my sister's clothes. I only associated with the girls, which I was bullied relentlessly because if a bully saw me talking to a girl, they always assumed that I was going out with them, even though they was clearly know that I was already in a relationship with someone else. And even 30p Lee Anderson, when he was vice chair of the Tories, claimed that this election was going to be on culture wars and a trans debate. 30p Lee, which based on inflation is now 31.7p, has deflected to Reform Party, which is the furthest right that you can go. And Labour is just as bad because the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has claimed that 16 is too young to know who you are, and he's actually backed away from self-ID for trans people, which luckily I have got my GRC coming. I got this Monday coming, 2 weeks from now, is when I should be getting my GRC, which means that will be legally female on the government records, which means that when I get married, I can get married in the correct gender. I will be the wife, Miss Michaela Copeland, and when I do pop my clogs, my death certificate will say female on it, and I'm not sure what else I can do. I mean, in regards to the gender recognition certificate, I am helping out a couple of trans friends. In regards to the NHS England's judgment, I'm not sure what I can do. I have emailed my MP, which I doubt anything would do. I doubt that would do anything because she's not very good at replying. Which when I spent throughout the whole years, throughout the whole time I spent waiting on the NHS, I did email her 8 times and I never got a response. Which it took me 2 weeks short of 4 years before I could access hormones on the NHS. I was going private for 2 years with Gender GP, and before Gender GP, a month before the first COVID lockdown, I was self-medicating, which I know it can be dangerous. I did ask 6 times for bridging hormones, and I only heard back from a GP about bridging hormones once I stopped self-medding and I was going private. There is some good news for me is that I will be having breast augmentation, but I do have to pay for it, and I so far saved just over 1,100 quid at the 4,250 it's going to cost me, and I'm getting towards the end of my transition, but it still deeply affects me because this is my family. I mean, I've been disowned by most members of my biological family. I only really talk to my auntie Yvonne and my third cousin Shannon. The rest of the family are not in contact with, and it just really is difficult with this ongoing attack. And it seems that trans kids cannot consent to anything. I mean, it's getting so bad that me and my fiance we're actually thinking of claiming asylum in Canada because Canada has done an outright ban on conversion therapy and it is the third safest country in the world to be trans. I mean, we may, in the UK, we may have the Equality Act and the Gender Recognition Act, but it seems like that doesn't matter. And the ongoing attacks that you see in Parliament is really, really hard. I mean, the Tories, they never have or ever will support the LGBT community, and I'm just getting pretty fed up by it. If you like this video, be sure to smash that like button, press subscribe, and turn that bell notification on so you see updates of when I make a new video. I will be doing more makeup looks in the in the in the coming weeks. Do please leave a comment down below. As ever, links are in the description box down below. Much love to you. Much love to everyone. See you very soon. Bye.